Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Crime and Coffee Couple. My name's Mike.
And my name is Allison.
Yeah, you are, baby girl. This is 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to be doing this week and next week, I believe, the way the schedule's working out for delivering the story.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, for a while there, we were saying we go back and forth, and then you started doing a lot more, and I was doing a little bit less, and now, yeah. So if you absolutely hate when I deliver stories, you are going to hate the next 2 weeks. So I apologize in advance.
It's going to be like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, like that, my guy sucks. So,
no.
You know, just leave that out of the reviews when you leave them, please.
You're wonderful.
No, thank you very much. That's what I was going for. I was fishing for that compliment.
And I took the hook and I bit it, and now it's through my lip.
Yeah, you got a mouth like a largemouth bass.
That's right.
That's what I always say. That's what attracted me to you. You got it like a carp. You're just like, wow. And I was
nice.
Like, I want to make out with that girl.
It's really attractive.
And other stuff, too, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like feed you. So, here we are, another episode, and it is a week before Christmas.
Yes,
so
it
7
is.
days, man. Hope if you celebrate, get ready.
We are in the very final rush, and it's now or never, peeps. You got to get those gifts purchased, get them wrapped. Mm-hmm. I haven't wrapped squat.
Right, and real quick, you did have enough time to purchase things for yourself, though. We mentioned this on the Patreon podcast. You said, we had a discussion, we're like, we shouldn't buy things for ourselves as much right now because, just save them for Christmas gifts. And not to mention there's a lot of money being expended and stuff. So let's just focus on other people's gifts. And we walk home the other day and you had a delivery of essential oils and a diffuser, I believe.
Yeah, it smells so nice.
Yeah. And I think this is like probably your third diffuser in our lifetime.
I'm supporting my friend's business, Mike.
Very nice. She's a very nice girl. I totally agree with that in January.
Yes, well, I bumped it up a few weeks, so...
You did, and that's okay with you, I guess.
It's okay with me.
Yeah, I guess it is, and I'd say, less than 50% of the packages are for you, so that's good.
Well, at Christmas time, I would say 99% are not for me,
Oh, believe
a-hole.
me, I know you would say that, but you would be wrong, so I'd say 50.
Other than this damn diffuser, I haven't ordered anything. I mean, I do have some face serum coming, but that's a necessary thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, well,
if you want this skin to remain luminescent,
what about
I need
your concrete mask now that you have? What's that thing?
I'm using these patches on my forehead at night. They're called frownies.
And they've been around since like the 1800s?
Yes. I'm learning so much.
It's not an advertisement. It sounds like...
No, we're not getting paid by frownies.
Yeah.
I was on Instagram and I saw it pop up and they say that people use it. And if you use it as it's meant to be used, like 30 days straight, depending on the severity and like how deep your lines are, and then maybe like 3 times a week or something, it's supposed to have very similar results to Botox, that you're literally training the muscles in your forehead to flatten out, which is really essentially what Botox does. It paralyzes the muscles that move, that cause the lines to show up.
I thought Botox causes inflammation.
No.
Through like poison.
It's like paralyzing your muscles. Hence the reason why people say frozen face.
Oh, you're
when
just
people
like...
are over Botoxing and they were like, there's no movement in your face.
Right. You want to have a little movement, just not a lot.
Well, yeah, but a lot of women, though, they'll be like, oh, crap, I can move my eyebrow. Time to go get more Botox.
Oh, so it's purposely, what's it called when you lose like movement of a part of your body?
Like paralysis.
Paralysis. It's like on purpose paralysis.
Yeah, so basically
Which sounds healthy. It sounds healthy to me.
These frownies are forming a cast on your forehead. They're these like paper patches. You get them wet and then they dry hard like a cast would.
Like paper mache.
Yes. And it literally prevents any of your facial movements during the night while you're sleeping and such.
I gave you a kiss on your head the other day and I kissed it, I think.
Yes, you did. But I have nothing whatsoever against Botox. If you get Botox, there is certainly no judgment on my part. I've thought about doing it time and time again.
As long as it's your money and not mine. That's all I care
the problem. I don't care about poison in my face. Put the poison in my face. I don't care.
Right.
My thing is the money.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, hey.
And you got to get it done like every 4 months or so.
Yeah, it's like once you start, that's why I don't take my hair loss stuff. Like I'm like, once I start taking that, it's going to be something for the rest of my life. I got to pay for it.
And that's how these frownies are. Like you have to be consistent in wearing them. So if I'm doing this for life.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hey, we'll keep
if
updated,
it works,
folks.
I'm willing to do it.
Yeah. And a real quick tip, this holiday season, I noticed Allison's family, they're very outward with a lot of their objections to some of the bad Christmas music we play. Mm-hmm. So everybody's got their favorite hits and everybody has their hits where they're like, this one sucks.
Like, God forbid Mariah Carey comes on in my house while my family's over. It's like,
Or Jackson 5.
Everyone
Jackson 5.
loses their mind.
The Jackson 5 is looked down upon because of the screechy voices. I have started to not like the John Lennon.
John Legend?
No, Lennon.
Oh,
from
what?
the Beatles. That
Shame on
the
you.
one that he sings with Yoko Ono.
War is over.
Yeah, the war is over.
Happy Christmas.
I love the message of that song. I love it.
Oh, it's fabulous.
But the thing that ruined it was Yoko Ono for me. So not because whatever Yoko did. I don't know. That's not my thing. But she came out with this like album of her own where she like screeches. She's literally, if you can hear Yoko Ono, go ahead and like YouTube it. It sounds like.
Wasn't it Bill Burr? Wasn't it Bill Burr? Who
Well,
did
that was when she was helping John Lennon sing.
But
and, like the guy turned around like, what the hell? And John Lennon's like not even reacting.
If you ever look up Bill Burr and Yoko Ono, oh my gosh, I laughed so hard.
So picture Yoko Ono. She made her own album like recently in the past 10 or 15 years. Where she was like screaming like a goat
like
that's being
banshee?
killed. Yeah, and so now that I heard her do that on the solo, I hear it in that Christmas song, and I just can't listen to it. It's like screeching like nails on a chalkboard.
Don't point it out to me because I don't want to hear it because I love that song.
If you still
War
love that
is
song,
over. Obviously the message is beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, and I love John Lennon. I love the Beatles, but she ruined that for me. So those are examples of songs I don't like. And so you can play instrumental music from like Amazon Alexa or whatever. So
it's like calming and it doesn't grate on your nerves.
Yeah, which is nice. So go ahead and try that out.
And there's only so many Christmas songs, so when you have it on for hours and hours, you're oftentimes hearing it like 2 and 3 times.
Yeah, I mean the jig is up. There's only a few hundred.
I cannot stop laughing about your impersonation of Yoko Ono.
And sorry if that blasted out your eardrums. You probably weren't expecting me to again.
I wasn't expecting
scream.
you.
I thought it'd be worth it. So
oh my gosh!
Hopefully somebody laughed out there.
Oh, I can't stop laughing.
Making me sound like a jackass. So I do want to say, hey, thanks to everybody for listening to me scream and also listening to us and leaving reviews online. So whether you're listening on Apple or Android, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I always say that because you can leave words on Apple Podcasts. Everything else, like Spotify, you can leave us a 5-star review, whether you're on Apple or Android. That'd be awesome. We are getting a huge uptick in Spotify listeners, so thanks for that. But I do want to call out this one review. If you leave a review, then maybe we'll read it next week.
Maybe.
This one's from Audible, the Amazon company. This one says, thank you both for bringing these stories. I just found you guys. I enjoy your banter. Your storytelling is fantastic. Just remember, Android users listen too. I listen on Audible. So
yes, thank you. And we used to be Android users up until, I don't know, maybe we made the switch, 2 years ago or so to Apple?
I was a huge Android
guy. No shame on the Android.
Absolutely not. No, we're hey, listening to us either way. We appreciate it. And you know what?
No matter how you're here, and we appreciate you.
And your family. What's that?
When you're here, your family.
Olive Garden or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just like Olive Garden. We're
like the sitting, speaking Olive Garden.
Yeah, we're the Olive Garden of true crime podcast.
Yes.
That's what we're going for.
We've got our little pup sitting next to me on the chair while we record this. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see she's adorable in her little green and white sweater, which you also posted a picture of on Instagram.
Yep.
So she is something to look at. I'm not so much, but she is.
Yeah, we went for a 4-mile walk today, so
almost 5.
Yes.
Not that that's
no, you're right. It's closer
terribly
to 5.
crazy, and it was chilly out, so it's not like I'm sweating.
No, you look great.
But I don't have any makeup on, nothing like that. I'm just keeping it real.
I'd have a good time. I'd have a good time with you if you ever,
okay.
Maybe afterwards we'll talk about it.
Night, we'll see.
Yeah,
okay,
probably not enough time in the
okay.
day. We're busy.
Mike, we've been cackling and laughing. Enough with the unprofessionalism. Let's put our professional boots on and, get serious here, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
So you ready for the story?
I'm ready.
This is right up my alley, let me tell you. So if you like the stories I usually get into, you'll enjoy listening to this one here. Obviously, not about the people that are affected.
Never.
But, so this is a story of Ken Rex McElroy.
Oh.
Okay. You always say you've never heard of him, but let's see. This is going to be interesting.
I only think of the golfer, Rory
This
McElroy.
is not Rory McElroy, and it's spelled differently.
Okay.
So, Ken McElroy. This is in Skidmore, Missouri, here in the USA. I'm going to talk about this guy's life, but the ultimate ending event happened July 10th, 1981.
Oh, okay.
Just to give you kind of an idea of where we are on the timeline here. So Ken Rex McElroy was born June 1st, 1934. His family was pretty poor. They were tenant farmers. If you're like me, you had to look up what a tenant farmer was. And it's basically they lived on land that was owned by someone else.
Oh, well, I was like, what did you grow, like apartment complexes with tenants in it?
Yeah, well, you plant an apartment, it grows in like 6 months. No, so they farm the land that somebody else owned. So they would share in like all the produce that they provided. They'd give a portion of that to whoever owned the land, where they can stay there and also get some of the profits. So
Okay.
I guess it's not, basically hired help.
Got it.
Is what they were. So not a lot of money, but yeah, they all lived in Skidmore, Missouri. Ken McElroy was, went to school all the way through the 8th grade, but dropped out in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Many people believe he was illiterate.
Oh, okay.
Not sure how he was able to get all the way through 8th grade without being able to
Yeah.
read. Maybe just barely got by and they passed him off to the next grade.
And it's like, what do you mean you think he was illiterate? Like, are you his teacher? Can he read or not?
I think it'll make a little more sense as we go on here.
Okay.
So when he turned 18, he went to go work in construction, and he was seriously injured while working at one of his construction sites.
Jeez.
A huge piece of steel fell on him, and he had some terrible pain from this accident, as you could probably imagine. A lot of people think that this incident kind of started everything and fused a lot of the terrible things this guy would do through the rest of his life.
Where did this piece of metal hit him?
I guess just like totally flattened him. I don't know. We don't have details, but I
Okay.
mean, enough where there's like some kind of head injury concerns and probably limb damage and stuff.
Okay.
So what they're saying is like a PTSD kind of play, where you're seriously injured and just kind of rattled them. So to help you picture McElroy, he was a big dude. Over 6 feet tall and weighing about 270 pounds. So a little bit bigger than me. I'm 6'2", 255. So if you see on video, like I'm a pretty big guy.
You're a sizable man. You got
Yeah.
some big shoulders on you.
Yeah, like I was watching one of these YouTubes and they're like, yeah, you wouldn't want to walk into him in a dark alley or something like that. I'm like, well, I could probably go against him. We'll
Yeah.
see. I don't know. We'll see. So he had these thick pork chop sideburns like Elvis, and he was just dark hair, and just kind of dude you didn't want to really mess with. A local farmer said this about McElroy, quote, "I think Ken simply wanted to be a big and important person and have people afraid of him when he walked down the street, and he got that. They were."
Well, he had size on his side.
Yep. So even though McElroy's parents and family were pretty poor, he ended up finding a way to make some pretty good money. You might wonder how. He had a few different ways. He leased land near his farm. So he had his own farm and he leased land to other people. So he was like the flip side. He saw how much money these landowners were making, saved up enough, bought his own land. So more power to him there. He traded and raced dogs, which was a thing back then, I guess. He may have also stolen some livestock. A lot of these things here, I'm just going to say, this is all alleged, okay? It's all alleged.
Nothing was proven in a court of law.
Yeah, you're going to
that
hear...
he popped a cow on his back and galloped away with it.
Right, and you're going to hear why in a second here. This is just the craziest, weirdest story. So, also alleged that he stolen alcohol and sold it to other people. He stole farmed grain, gasoline, and antiques. So pretty much anything. Like, this is a guy looking for opportunities here.
Yeah.
Whether it was with the law or against the law. I guess there's a lot less competition when it's illegal because people don't want to do illegal things. Ken McElroy was not afraid of those sort of things. Of course, since he's into all these illegal activities, he got caught many, many, many times.
As you're going to tend to do if you're doing it for, a continuous amount of time.
Yep. His own lawyer, Richard Gene McFadden, was asked how often McElroy was charged with crimes. And the lawyer was like, about 3 times a year. He'd have some kind of like 3 crimes.
Kept him busy.
Yeah. He even said this about McElroy, quote, "He's the best client I ever had. He was punctual, always said he didn't do it, paid in cash, and kept coming back."
Okay.
I mean, he's basically using the attorney as like his own McDonald's here. He's just like, yep, didn't do it. Here's $7,000
Yeah.
and get me off of it. And I'll
Get rid of it.
see you in a few weeks.
See ya in about 3-4 months.
Yeah. So, it worked really well for McElroy here. Depending on where you look, he was indicted around 21 times,
Jeez.
but he was only convicted once out of all those times.
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
he had a dang good lawyer.
He did. As a matter of fact, McElroy would brag that his big Kansas City lawyer also represented the mob.
Okay.
So McElroy paid him a handsome amount of money in order to make a lot of these things go away. And absolutely worth it, it sounds like. Otherwise, he'd be in jail.
You got to know the right people who know the right people.
Yeah, exactly. Pay the right people, or the right judges, and all that kind of stuff. So McElroy felt like he was kind of untouchable. He'd walk around just like a big shot and be like, yeah, well, if I get in trouble, my lawyer's going to get me off. So what are you going to do about it?
Right.
And it was true. I was like, yeah, you make a good point. Go ahead, Mr. McElroy, right here.
Little slaps on the wrist here and there, nothing to stop him.
Yep, steal all my piggies. Like, nothing I can do about it. So it wasn't just this big shot lawyer that kept McElroy out of jail. He'd also take matters into his own hands, being a pretty big dude and kind of scary. He'd do pretty much whatever it took, including witness intimidation, things like just sitting outside of people's houses, following them to their work, putting rattlesnakes in their mailboxes, like knowing people would know that he did it. He'd be like, yeah, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do
Don't
about
mess
it?
with me.
Right. Carry around his gun, always have it like hanging in his truck, like that kind of stuff. Like, I will kill you. I'll shoot you in the face.
You didn't want to be on this guy's bad side, basically, because he was going to make your life a living hell, if not kill you.
Yeah, you knew he wasn't afraid of the law. You knew just that he had the law on his side, basically.
Yeah.
And
so what was the point of challenging it?
Yep. Like I said, you follow them around, sit outside their house. They would eventually bow out to being witnesses. Anybody that would, supposedly that was going to, testify against him, they'd be like, yeah, something came up. I'm not going to testify.
Hence the reason why he was able to get off so many times that he was indicted.
Correct. So all these things are alleged. I'm doing air quotes here.
But we would assume them to be probably a lot of truth to them.
Not me, Allison.
I'm not.
I go by the book of the law.
Okay.
So innocent until proven guilty.
I don't want any rattlesnakes in my mailbox.
Me neither. Unfortunately, McElroy's alleged crimes included harassing and assaulting women.
Oh, that's not okay.
No. So this is all kind of fun and games, a lot of jokes and stuff here, but this is getting pretty serious.
Well, yeah, stealing the piggies. Not that it's funny for the farmer, but assaulting women.
Or the piggies.
Or the piggies.
Right. So, assaulting women, harassing women, robbery, destruction of property, and like I said, threatening people's lives and assault. Like, that's not funny stuff.
No.
That's you're getting towards piece of shit territory there. You're absolutely in piece of shit territory.
I'd say you're trudging through it.
Yeah, knee deep or waist deep.
Neck deep.
There you go. So there are accounts of him attempting to shoot at least 2 people. And when I say accounts, again, these are things that most likely allegedly happened.
Mm-hmm.
One of these 2 was a local farmer named Romaine Henry. In July of 1976, Henry was telling McElroy to get off his land. So McElroy was on Henry's land. Mm-hmm. Henry's like, get off of my land. And he went to go drive him off. And McElroy stopped his car. And Henry drove up to him. And what does McElroy do? He ended up shooting Romaine Henry in the stomach on his own land. Yeah. He walked up. So what it sounded like is he walked up to his truck and was like, yeah, you're going to talk to me? Are you going to talk to me? You want some of this? And had a shotgun under there and kind of shot him in the stomach, through his car, basically.
Jeez.
So, this would seem like a pretty open and shut case.
You would think.
Right? So,
attempted murder.
It turns out it went to trial. McElroy's attorney had a couple witnesses testify that McElroy was out hunting for the whole day with them. So there's no way he could have shot this guy in the stomach.
And the guy that was shot in the stomach said he was by himself and not out on his property hunting with a group of other men.
The guy that got shot in the stomach said McElroy shot me.
Yes, but not like accidentally while hunting.
No, he said he was on my property. I told him to get off. He stopped his car. He shot me in the stomach. Oh my gosh. McElroy's like, I wasn't even there, bud. You're making this stuff up.
Oh, so he was. I thought maybe they were saying, oh yeah, we were hunting on his property. We accidentally.
No. So McElroy's lawyer got 2 dudes just to randomly be like, yeah, he was with us. We were all hunting together.
Oh my.
So totally outside of this. So basically his lawyer's getting people to allegedly lie for him,
right,
if that was the case.
If what the farmer is saying is true, then, yeah, absolutely.
Somehow he got shot in the stomach. McElroy said he didn't do it. Okay.
It's just somebody else that's 6 feet tall, 270 pounds, and has chops on his cheeks.
That in this small town that everybody knows everybody.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't this guy somehow. So there's no way he ended up shooting Romaine Henry. He was found not guilty.
Wow.
So these kinds of things would happen all the time. It seems pretty clear he's probably not the best of guys, like I said before. Mm-mm. But like I said, it does get worse. McElroy was accused of raping 2 girls.
Jeez.
Statutory rape.
Ugh.
So as young as 12 years old.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, and sorry for the tough news here, but also it said that he married both of these girls. And the reason, to keep them from being able to testify against him.
What?
I guess there's some kind of rule. If you're married, you can't testify. I don't know. Or maybe
he
there was
married a 12-year-old?
Yes, 2 of them. Like maybe a 12 and 13 or 13, 12 and 14.
How is that legal?
I don't know. I guess in Missouri at this time, it was legal.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a lot of states where it's still legal.
To marry a 12-year-old?
Yeah, as long as both families agree.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's highly disturbing.
Yeah.
And how old is he when he's marrying a 12 or a 13-year-old?
30-something.
What in the actual hell?
Yeah, absolutely sickening. Also, this is gross as hell. McElroy was said to prefer girls around the ages of 13 or 14 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
It was well known he really liked girls 13 or 14.
What is wrong in your head?
As like a late 20s, early 30-year-old guy, like just...
And you're proud to speak out about this?
I don't know if he's proud, but he knows it, and he doesn't care, so yeah.
So these two parents of the 12 and 13-year-old, they had to give their permission and blessing in order for this to actually happen?
No, I don't know that for sure. I'm saying like nowadays, that's how it is. Back then, I don't know.
But he was legally married to a 12 and a 13-year-old.
There's some question around that too, because some of these marriages overlapped in the years and the months, so we don't know if technically, like really, according to the state, he was married, but he did have a marriage situation going on.
Wow.
So,
with like a sixth grader.
Yes.
Okay.
One of these women was Trina McLeod. Supposedly, she was McElroy's third, quote, wife. I say quote because some of these marriages, like I said, happen around the same time. It's not clear how many were legally viewed as marriages, but in his eyes, this is his third marriage. McElroy started his relationship with Trina when she was only 14 years old.
Oh, my God.
And they had a child together around that same time.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely gross.
This poor child.
So Ken McElroy is a piece of shit. We know that now.
That's been established.
Not long after Trina gave birth to that child, Trina tried to escape from McElroy, and she ran back to her parents' house. You know, obviously she's 14 years old. She's scared. She's with this guy. God knows what's happening in this house. Has a baby, you know, and she's a baby.
She's a baby.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what she must have been going through. Unfortunately, it was alleged that McElroy was pissed off and burned down Trina's parents' house and shot the family dog while he was there.
What?
In 1981, Trina told People magazine that, oh, no, none of that happened. The house fire was just faulty wiring in my house.
And somebody shot your dog that, you know...
Yeah, somebody ended up shooting the dog and the whole house burned down from faulty wiring.
Were her parents okay?
I don't know that they died, so I'd imagine that they were okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd imagine there was some kind of a scene there saying, like, give her back to me and all this stuff. And then he's like, well, I'm going to burn your house down. If you do anything, I'm going to kill you and whatever.
Wow. Just
Now,
ultimate control.
Alleged. Right. I don't know any of these things for factuals. But McElroy was also accused of abusing his first two wives, as you would imagine.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Sharon and Alice. In later interviews, Alice and Trina both had similar stories, claiming that Ken McElroy treated them well. So in one interview, Alice told People magazine, quote, Ken was totally different from the way that they're saying he was now. Oh, he was wild, but he wasn't guilty of all those things they say. He was honest and generous. I never knew him to steal anything ever.
Okay, so this is somebody that's scared for their lives and only giving high praises.
Yes, and brainwashed.
Brainwashed potentially, or just scared to death.
Right. Could be anything. And I guess this is a pretty common thing to happen when young girls are, you know, taken under the wing of a guy who they look up to and whatever. And
well, they're being groomed.
Yeah, groomed. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. We're being groomed and abused.
Yeah.
To say their captors were much better people and didn't do any of the things they're accused of doing. So unfortunately, it's a very common thing. In that same interview, Trina said, quote, the officers were always hassling him. They'd accuse him of anything, even things I know he didn't do because I was with him. They just hated him because he wouldn't kneel down to them. So they were saying on this line and being like, man, there's no way. No, he was a good guy. He was crazy a little bit, sure, but none of these things
not guilty
are true.
For these hideous things he's being accused of.
Yeah, they're basically towing the company line and being like, in McElroy's, we always say we didn't do it.
Right.
And that's how it's going to go. Okay, understood? Good. So there's a clear attraction to him from these girls. They like the power that he's projecting. They like that he's a big shot in Skidmore, Missouri. They like that he doesn't get into trouble. He can do whatever he wants and he gets off scot-free. I mean, there is an element of power there that I can see being attractive.
Well, it's like why the bad boy image works for a lot of people.
Yeah. Because it's like, man, you're not afraid of anything. You got confidence. I love this. When really you're just a huge douchebag.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, you know, like they felt safer and part of the big deal. You know, like they're like, wow, if I'm with him, nobody's going to mess with me. Like, sure, he'll mess with me and do some stuff, but I'm safe everywhere else.
Right.
So after many news outlets talked with many people from Skidmore, The real story may have been that police were actually afraid of McElroy. It was known somehow that he wasn't afraid of shooting cops and made it known to the cops he was always heavily armed. So police weren't looking for problems and largely just let him be. There was supposedly one of the cops assigned to just watch him, like kind of watch over him because he was always up to no good. And, allegedly he came up to the cop and was like, get off my property. I'm going to shoot and kill you. And you're going to be dead. And that cop called for backup. No cops came to back him up.
Oh, jeez.
So that's a story that went around the town. So like these small towns, they all have their stories and then there's probably an element of truth to them. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this guy was not afraid of anything and everybody knew like, we can't put him in jail. He's not going to go to jail.
Right.
So, at this point, the people of Skidmore were starting to feel helpless and abandoned because their systems of checks and balances like weren't working. Like when you're in trouble, you're supposed to be able to call the cops and be like, hey, this guy's in trouble. And, in a perfect world, it works where they go to trial, they're convicted, and you don't have to worry about them for a little while.
Taken off the streets and given punishment for the things that they've done. Instead, this guy's getting off scot-free, and then your life is potentially at risk.
Yeah, exactly. So you never know. You get into like an argument with this guy, and it's like you could be dead.
I would not want to mess with anybody in this description.
Nope. So this guy's allegedly going around raping and shooting people.
And getting away with it.
Right. And they have no choice but to let him keep on going.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So as you can imagine, they're becoming increasingly outraged. Just like, I don't know. Do we need to take this into our own hands? Like, what are you trying to, like, they go to the sheriff's office. They're like, what should we do? And he's like, I don't know. They shrug their shoulders because they're afraid. It's like that nobody knows what to do.
It's like almost sounds like he'd be in a gang or something because it's crazy that it was just him.
It was just like the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Like he's in the small enough town where it doesn't really matter and he owns a lot of stuff. He has a lot of money. It's the resources. He has tons of money to pay this big shot Kansas City lawyer,
right,
to come in. And until somebody else has a bigger city, a New York attorney, then they're going to keep on losing to this guy.
Yeah.
And especially human beings, they need to have these witnesses stand up against him, but nobody's willing to. Because, it's a poor farming town.
Or that everyone band together and be like, enough is enough. Something needs to be done about this guy.
Right.
But everyone's afraid, and,
right.
and you can't blame them.
Yep. So remember when I said that McElroy allegedly shot 2 different people?
Yeah, you mentioned specifically the farmer in the stomach, but who was the second person?
Great question. The second shooting was more of a tipping point for the town.
Okay.
So here's the story. Ready?
Yes.
On April 25th, 1980... in Ernest Bowenkamp's general store. So this is just the general store that, a small town like you would picture. Just, they have a little bit of everything. They're your grocery store. They're kind of everything. A store clerk saw McElroy's 8-year-old daughter, Tanya, take a piece of candy that she didn't pay for. So the clerk was like, oh, sweetie, can you put that back? I don't want you to go without paying for it. Just kind of like a sweet little town clerk would say.
Did this clerk not realize whose child this was?
Yeah, I don't...
You avert your eyes the other way, apparently.
Actually, they didn't. They specifically said we didn't know who it was.
I bet you if somebody knew who he was and whose child this was, they would have been like, I didn't see a thing.
Right, because it's like 5 cents and that's not going to affect
my life.
Me. Right, exactly. So... Trina was the one that took the daughter to the general store.
Okay.
It wasn't her daughter. It was a daughter from a previous marriage, one of the sickening marriages that McElroy had. So she right away was like, do you know who we are? Like, this is, which is a shitty thing to do.
So Trina was pulling the card out.
Trina's like, you just accused my daughter of stealing? And she's like, she took a piece of candy. I'm asking her to put it back.
Does your child have a piece of candy? Well, your child doesn't have money. So, yeah, she did steal.
Right. So they're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, she stole it. Yeah, just have her put it back. It's fine. Whatever. And she's like, no, this is crazy. She didn't take anything and whatever. So she's like, well, you know what? I'm going to go tell the big guy and you're going to be sorry. So when Ken McElroy learned about this accusation, he was super pissed off and started stalking the Bowenkamp's entire family.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, this is this guy's MO. He's going to go stalk you and try to intimidate you and make you wish you were never born, basically. Then on July 8th, 1980, so this has been going on for a few months, McElroy drove into the back alley behind the same general store where Bowenkamp was hanging out. He was on like the receiving dock, just kind of looking out and doing like he always does. And he went up to him, threatening him. He's like, "You want to fight me or something?" He's like, "No, why would I want to do that?" And saying, McElroy goes, "I'm going to shoot you." And he's like, brought out a shotgun. He's like, "I'm going to shoot you." And he threatened him and kept on threatening him. And sure enough, He took up the shotgun to Bo and shot him with the shotgun right in the neck at close range.
What?
Yeah. He's looked at him and is like,
So he just died instantly?
no. So thankfully, Bo Bowenkamp survived the point blank shot to the neck from a shotgun.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess he had obviously blood, everywhere and couldn't talk immediately after because of blood filling his throat.
And over a piece of candy.
Correct. McElroy was immediately arrested and charged with attempted murder.
Oh, wow. We're actually going to do something about this.
Yep. So the trial date was set for August 18th, 1980. As per usual, McElroy did his best to intimidate the entire Bowenkamp family so they wouldn't testify against him. I mean, this is his thing. Bowenkamp's wife said, "You can't know how intimidating it was. Before his trial, he'd drive up to our house in his pickup at night and just sit there."
Unbelievable.
Because they'd be looking for him because they'd know that he's looking to do this, right?
Right.
And so he would pull up and have his cigarette or whatever. I don't know if he was smoking, but this is how I picture him with a cigarette with his lights on, off, just kind of saying, "Hey, here I am. Look
I'm
at
here."
me." Yep.
Yeah.
They said sometimes he would just get out of the car, fire his gun in the air. It was frightening. So it's basically like you're waiting to see if he's going to do something crazy enough.
Right.
And so the whole family was just scared. McElroy and his lawyer were able to delay the trial about 5 months to June 1981 because that's what they did, and they knew exactly how to do it. And they were just like, let's just delay this as much as possible.
How do you get out of this, though?
Let's see.
You come to a general store and shoot someone in the neck. How do you get out of it? Was he hunting again? Was he fishing this time?
Right. So they're like, no, we got you there this time. So during these 5 months, the prosecuting attorney resigned. Why do you think that might have been?
Because he was threatened.
I mean, we can't say for sure, but nothing alleged. But I mean, we have some good ideas of why that guy may have resigned.
It's very coincidental.
Correct.
The timing.
Yes, and how they were trying to delay it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with intimidation or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the new prosecutor was a guy named David Baird. And for the first time ever, this lawyer was able to convict Ken McElroy of a crime.
Hallelujah.
Now, it was only a second-degree assault, which is insane.
Second degree?
Yeah, second-degree assault, not attempted murder.
Not attempted murder.
Nope,
You shot someone in the neck with a shotgun.
Point-blank range.
And it is not considered attempted murder.
After stalking him and his entire family for months on end.
How? Explain that one to me. Riddle me that.
But so he got second-degree assault with a maximum sentence of 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
But it was something. So it was basically like this guy, David Baird's like, I just wanted him to get hit with something. Okay.
Unreal.
This one was a slam dunk. He's like, I wanted a slam dunk here. This was the only possible slam dunk that there's no denying that it was a secondary assault, 100%. There's no way you can get off on this.
With a deadly weapon and a bullet strikes you in the neck, and that's considered assault.
Yeah, that's what they got him for.
Wow.
So no, I mean, it's considered more, but he'd have to prove it, you know? So who knows? I mean, he would probably say, oh, no, I wasn't there. He'd have witnesses saying, no, he was with me that night that he was supposedly in their driveway.
And then he'd get nothing.
Right. So they're like, we had you there. We got you. We don't know if it was preconceived, but you did this. Here you go.
Okay. So he has a max of 2 years.
Yep. So unfortunately, the judge freed McElroy on a $40,000 bail until his appeal process was over because, of course, McElroy is going to appeal it. Mm-hmm. So he's basically still out of jail, even though he shot a guy in the neck, right, on $40,000 bail. To make sure David Baird could get a conviction for McElroy, he went after him for the charge of, quote, knowingly causing serious physical injury instead of attempt to kill.
Okay.
So that's why it was just kind of like, if you go after the kill thing, there's all these other stipulations you gotta prove. Whereas this, he knew he had a gun. He knew the gun was going to cause injury, and he did this knowing it was causing physical. It was like, okay, bottom of the barrel. Yes, we can all agree on this. Okay, and I'm sure the other attorneys like, okay, fine. Listen, man, you got caught on the scene. This is the best you're going to do with this. So he knew it was an uphill battle. The rest, so we got the conviction. Like I said, after the trial, McElroy reportedly said, quote, "The jury convicted me, and they gave me 2 years. But I'll tell you what, I'll never go to jail.
How are you going to do that?
I'll appeal and I'll get off. I've been fighting with the law since I was 13 and I'm damn near 50. I've been arrested for over 53 felonies and this is the first one I ever lost." So that dude was just pompous as hell. He was very confident in his abilities and his lawyer's abilities. I mean, so full of himself. And I mean, he still had to appeal.
This is like a game to him.
Oh, completely.
See how far he could go and how little he could get, punishment-wise.
Yeah, for sure. So yet again, the residents of the town of Skidmore feel the justice system completely boned them. They're just like, of course, this guy, like you said, shot someone in the neck at point-blank range.
Where does this end?
And he's not in jail. The guy is not in jail. He's sitting in his house like he was the day before.
He's an absolute menace to society, and he is going to kill somebody.
Yep.
So let's get him off the streets before that happens. So, all right, fine. He's making an appeal. He's out on $40,000 on bail. But when will he go to jail?
It depends when they set his date for the appeal and everything. So he's out until the appeal.
He doesn't go to jail, I'm going to be really pissed.
Well, let me keep on going here.
Okay,
So
I'll let you keep going.
soon after McElroy was released, he did what you'd expect him to. He was at the local bar. It's called D&G Tavern, along with his rifle and bayonet. Brought his rifle with the bayonet on it. He was alleged to be making serious and detailed threats about murdering Bo Bowenkamp.
Still.
Yes.
He's still on Bo Bowenkamp about this damn piece of candy that his child likely stole.
Yep.
And just leave this guy alone. The gunshot wound to the neck wasn't enough.
This was like, you don't get the best of Ken McElroy here. And so far he's like, I'm not going to jail for this crap. You're going to be dead.
Jesus.
Like, I'm going to finish my thing here. I mean, insane, right? So the whole town's like hearing about this. They're like, he's going to kill Bo.
Right.
And Bo's a liked guy in the community. He's the local grocer,
Poor Bo.
So this is a guy who's on bail for attempting to cause serious physical harm.
Harm, in quotes.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah, and I'm laughing how stupid it is. And now he's allegedly spotting off at the local watering hole how he's going to finish the job. Just unbelievable. Good news. He was quickly arrested for doing so.
Okay. Which I'm surprised, because you think that everyone at the bar would have been scared to report anything.
Yep, and that might come up in a little bit here. But bad news, he was released shortly thereafter, as
Of course
you can imagine.
he was.
His court hearing for violating bail, this was violating bail. You're not supposed to carry around a firearm and threaten to kill people when you're on bail. Yep. So his court hearing was scheduled for July 20th, 1981. So we'd have to wait until then.
Okay.
On the morning of July 10th, 10 days before McElroy's court hearing, there was a town meeting at the Legion Hall. The town decided to get together. Like you said, once and for all, what the F are we going to do about this monster asshole dickhead living at the McElroy house by the name of Ken McElroy? There was a town meeting. There was no other agenda besides what are we going to do about Ken McElroy, right? Some say it was to plan something. Some say it was just a brainstorm. We don't know for sure. So this happened to be just a few doors down from that D&G Tavern where McElroy supposedly violated his bail and made the threats to Bo Bowenkamp. About 60 residents came out to this meeting, and the only topic, like I said, was how are we going to stop McElroy from hurting other townspeople? Dan Estes, the county sheriff at the time, suggested the town start a neighborhood watch.
Okay.
A neighborhood watch.
Just drive around, look around.
Yeah.
What? And then what? You're going to get shot.
Right. And I can only imagine the townspeople are thinking, what a load of horseshit.
Yeah.
Like, we've done the neighborhood watch for about 20 years now.
It's not working.
40, 50 years, however old this guy is. And we've done the right thing time and time again. You guys don't do your end of the deal here, or this other lawyer gets him off. And this guy's basically the most powerful guy in the world here.
Right.
So no, a neighborhood watch isn't going to work. They're all just like, whatever. So not so fast. As the meeting came to an end, it was adjourned. Word spread that Ken McElroy and his then partner Trina McLeod were currently at D&G Tavern getting drinks.
Okay. Just a couple doors down.
Yep. Just then, all 60 townspeople made a beeline for D&G Tavern.
Okay. Did they have what are those, like the
torches,
flames, the torches?
Pitchforks and torches?
Yeah.
Like, picture them with that, because that's exactly what they were thinking in their heads.
I pictured Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, get him. Basically, this is time. The time is now. If we're going to confront him, this is it.
Yeah.
Because we've got our opportunity. All of us are together. We're all pissed off. We've all had enough.
But they're just going to verbally confront him? Like, stop what you're doing,
I don't
Ken.
know. I don't know. You think I can... you think I might have some more
I just
information?
wondered how they pictured this to play out.
Well, you'll find out in a second here. Here we go. So all 60 people make it for D&G Tavern. Some of them surround McElroy's truck, They all know it very well. And some of them go into the bar, waiting for them to finish up their drinks that night. Basically saying like, hey, you almost done with your drinks? We'd like to see you outside. Like the whole town is basically like kind of threatening to beat the shit out of them here. Okay. So McElroy and Trina, they don't hurry themselves or anything, but they happen to finish their drinks eventually because he wasn't going to be told what to do.
Right.
They get their way back to McElroy's truck. McElroy gets into the driver's seat and lit himself a cigarette. Trina said she looked over her shoulder and she saw someone aim a gun at McElroy. Just then, gunshots were fired and there was glass everywhere. Pop, 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 pop. McElroy was leaning forward in his car, shot dead.
Wow.
Yep. He was hit twice, once by 2 different guns. Here's the kicker. No witness called an ambulance. There were 60 people there. Not one of them called an ambulance. And from the word on the street, there was complete silence. There was gunshots, 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 then complete silence. Nobody talking whatsoever. Nobody doing anything.
Wow.
Nobody screaming, nothing happening. I mean, that it was complete and utter silence.
That's crazy.
Nobody but Trina would talk to the police after the incident either.
Well, everyone's going to play I didn't see anything.
Yep. The shooting proceeded for a full 20 seconds, according to some reports I've read, and Trina was able to safely escape the truck and hide inside of a nearby bank. Bo Bowenkamp's daughter, Shirley Houston, had this to say, quote, once the shroud of silence fell, there was going to be no one talking. They could have pushed and dug and gotten nothing. So we were so bitter and so angry that the law let us down time and time again when it came to somebody taking matters into their own hand. No one has any idea what a nightmare we all lived.
Living in fear.
Yep. Investigators investigated and asked questions. Everybody, all the witnesses, the phrase they continuously heard, I heard shooting and got down, didn't see a thing. Every single person basically said the same thing.
And I assume no gun is to be found?
Nope, no guns to be found. They found a couple casings. That's how they knew there were 2 different guns. Much later investigation broke it down just a little bit more. According to the book In Broad Daylight by Harry Maclean. He said 1 shot came from the left of McElroy's pickup truck, a buckshot with a 12-gauge shotgun. This shot shattered the driver's side window, but mostly hit the door frame behind the driver and didn't hit McElroy.
Okay.
So that was at least 1 shot. Another shot came from behind the truck, probably the one that Trina saw. 30 caliber rifle that entered the back of McElroy's neck and very nearly ripped out his tongue.
Wow.
According to the coroner, this was not the fatal wound.
Ooh.
The fatal shot came from a 22 rifle that struck a 22 LR rifle that struck McElroy squarely in the temple.
Wow. So from the side.
Reportedly, the bullet ricocheted inside his skull a few times.
It's amazing that Trina wasn't hit.
I know. Crazy. I mean, they knew what they were going for.
Okay.
Maybe this was after they pulled Trina out and threw her to the ground and, probably popped them right there.
Okay.
Somebody on Reddit said, the town doesn't like you when 3 people are willing to shoot you in the head.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Or 2 people actually did. One.
Well, the third one was likely intended to hit him.
Correct. It was just buckshot, so it spread.
Right.
Yeah. So some definitely people with something to prove here. In the investigation after the incident, the only suspect identified by Trina, because she was the only person talking, was Del Clement, part owner of the D&G Tavern. So his apparent motive was that McElroy was a regular there, which automatically meant people wanted to avoid his bar because they didn't want to start with anything with McElroy.
Okay. So he was losing business because, hey, we're not hanging out where he hangs out.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody knew not to go there because McElroy would be hanging out. Not to mention Del Clement also allegedly had some livestock stolen from him by McElroy. Some piggies.
Okay. I'm sure there was a lot of people that had motive.
Yes, absolutely. Also, Del Clement was known to have a quick temper. Clement denied the charge, as you would imagine, and insisted he had nothing to do with it. But he was the only one brought up as a possible suspect, and that was about it. Nobody
was tested for gun residue on their hands?
Maybe at that time they didn't
have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. But I think also maybe everybody ran home and washed all their hands.
Yeah.
They didn't stick around.
Right. Okay. So everyone fled the scene.
There was one person that was interviewed that they said, "Oh, I saw what was it, Dell's car driving or whatever. And then they came back to him like, can you give us more detail? They're like, oh no, that was wrong. It wasn't Dell.
Okay.
So they got a piece of it, and it was like, nope, actually that was wrong. It wasn't his. Ultimately, the DA didn't press charges on Dell, assuming they didn't have enough to get a warrant for his arrest. It was like, yeah, this one girl, Trina, says it, but
right,
nobody else. I mean, there were 60 people, and nobody saw
nobody
anything.
else except for one person.
Right. There are many attempts to find the truth of this whole thing. Skidmore was visited by several professional investigators. The FBI came in, journalists from all over the world, at least one from the UK. That's why I say all over the world. But this was one of those weird things, like, somebody's got to talk. Like, I can get somebody to talk. Like, I'm a good investigator.
Well, and you know how it is that people can't keep secrets.
Exactly.
People crack.
And they're proud of themselves. And they're like, well, just like a little hint. Like, you just want to get a hint from a couple different people. And you can put those pieces together. And all of a sudden, the puzzle starts coming together. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't crack. Not at all. Nobody would open their mouths out of all the people that, kind of amazing, really.
It actually is amazing. And that's why, when a crime goes down that's entailing multiple people, it's not usually a success because somebody's going to crack. Somebody's going to break and spill.
Yep. Del Clement ended up dying in 2009, and he went to his deathbed insisting he had absolutely nothing to do with the death of Ken McElroy. Good for him. Experts don't think this was something long planned out and thought out when the townspeople were at this meeting. They feel like this was something that just came up in the heat of the moment. Like, they were all together and they were like, oh, he's here. And they're like, let's kill him.
And everyone was fueled up because they were all actively commiserating and talking about what a nuisance and a danger Ken was to their town.
Yeah, and I'm sure there was dozens of stories of times Ken wronged somebody.
Right.
He pulled his gun on like dozens of people. Like, everybody had a story that he pulled a gun on them.
Lighter fluid was being doused on everyone's emotions and the flame was firing. Everyone's jacked up. They walk over there. However many people happen to be armed at the time, I don't know.
Right.
Clearly several.
Well, it's a little town, everybody hunts and stuff. I mean, plenty of people probably have their guns in their cars.
Right.
Shotguns and rifles, whatever it takes.
So you might be right in the fact that they did not go into this meeting with any intention of any of this happening.
Yep.
But just circumstantially, it all played out this way.
Yep. And they said it came up in the heat of the moment, and the entire town collectively decided to keep it to themselves in solidarity.
That's something.
It's amazing. Like, you don't hear about that anymore.
No.
I'm kind of proud of them a little bit.
I didn't see a thing, and
Right.
I'm sticking with that.
Yeah. Eventually, Trina McLeod filed a $6 million wrongful death lawsuit against the town of Skidmore, Sheriff Danny Estes, and Mayor Steve Peters, and also Del Clement on July 9th, 1984.
So at the time, Trina was probably still very young, right?
Yeah, youngish. 20s, I think.
Because I know she was only 14 when she, quote unquote, married this monster.
I think she was in her 20s, maybe early
Okay.
30s. The case was settled. She did a $6 million lawsuit. The case was settled for $17,600.
Ooh.
So they got something out of them, but not as much.
Nearly as much as she was hoping for.
She got the money, left town, and remarried elsewhere.
Okay, but, she was married to a rich man, a monster, but a rich man, so you would have thought she would have been taken care of.
You'd think so.
But then again, he did have multiple children, it sounded like, with multiple women, so who knows where the money went.
Maybe it went towards settling his estate or whatever
Yeah.
it might have been, and maybe he had a lot of debts, and who knows. Trina ended up passing away in 2012.
Really?
At the age of 55.
Jeez.
Yeah, kind of young.
Yeah.
In 2006, then current Sheriff Ben Espy was quoted as saying, "They all seem to know who did it, but they don't want to get involved. I'll do everything in my power to arrest the person." And that's what he's supposed to say since he's the sheriff.
Sure.
But, he's probably going around town being like,
I gotta ask you questions. We're talking about this. It's my duty to find who did this.
just say that I asked you questions.
Yeah.
I don't really care. This is water under the bridge.
Right.
Yeah. So in the month after, so not like years after, also years after, but directly the month after McElroy's death, the town saw an immediate decrease in the number of pigs and cows being stolen in the county.
Of course. We know who was responsible for this.
I just thought that was so funny. I was like, well, yeah, everybody knows he was doing this. And now all of a sudden there's more pigs and cows.
Yes.
It's kind of baffling. Coincidence? I guess we'll never know.
I would think not.
Yeah. So this guy was shot and killed, likely for what he did, while living in the town of Skidmore, and there were killers on the loose in this town. And so, officially it's unsolved.
Right.
Because there's people that killed this guy. McElroy's attorney, Richard McFadden, said it best in a New York Times interview, quote, "The town got away with murder."
And that town really band together.
They did.
And I mean, it's truly amazing. And again, I don't condone murder. We can't.
I do. I just want to. I condone murder. I'm just kidding. Nobody condones murder. Allison.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying, "Oh, I'm so proud of them for getting away with murder." But it's truly remarkable that 60 people could have been present at the time that somebody was shot dead, and nobody said a word or slipped up or spilled the beans.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, not that somebody's dead, but just that a group of people were able to come together. The thing was that they had no other solution, right? And I'm not telling anybody to kill anybody, but man, it's so interesting when a bunch of people come together and get something done.
It's really sad to know that the law couldn't have been done right, and this guy would have been put away for the multiple things that he was responsible for, and that it had to end in murder.
Well, it's because of this lawyer who was able to come up with these, witnesses.
But that problem isn't going to go away. That's the problem, is that this is a crooked system.
Yeah.
The fact that a guy that shot someone in the stomach, raped various young girls, shot another guy in the neck, is stealing pigs and cows left and right and center, and is just wreaking havoc and getting away with it. That's the problem that needs to be fixed.
Just think of these poor piggies. That's what I want to say.
Stop saying piggies.
I just like saying piggies. I think it's funny.
Oh my God.
All right. So I want to say, if you would like this episode and you want some more episodes, we have bonus episodes every other week. And they're pretty darn good, I must say.
So.
If you're a Tier 1 patron, you get one every month. And if you're a Tier 2 patron, you get every single bonus episode. So I just want to read off some of our patrons. And thank you so much to each and every one of you. Colleen, Lily, Karen, Nadine, Allie, Michael, Kayla, Dominic, Brian, Shannon, Elizabeth, Mandy, Alana, Vivian, Trisha, Lauren, Megan, Jamie, Chastity, Elizabeth, Genevieve, Clara Ann, Emily, Kathy, Ava, Jovi, Eileen, Misty, Rochelle, Destiny, Ellie, Sherry, Melanie, Bettina, Rebecca, Gabrielle, Angela, Sabrina, and Sandra. Thank you so much for your support. We are absolutely floored and amazed that there's people that will, give their hard-earned money in support of our show. It means the world to us.
It really does, and we so appreciate you all.
It helps us to be able to do this week in, week out, and me to pull my all-nighters before every one of these episodes.
As you tend to do.
I got about 5 hours of sleep, according to my Fitbit.
Somehow he just doesn't learn.
I enjoy it. That's why I just want to bring people, entertainment. So thank you so much for listening. We appreciate the hell out of you. Hopefully you have a great Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, if you celebrate it, whatever you celebrate, and just enjoy time with family and friends.
Yes, absolutely. And until next time, bye.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.